Morning, Coach.
Good morning.
We'll get started with Bo and then Dave.
Hey, Coach. The screen game has been such an effective tool for you in years past. What has been the difficulty with getting that working so far?
A screen game, like with anything, any play, really, it comes down to timing. The timing of the quarterback, whether it's play action screen or just a straight drop back screen. There are some intricacies with the offensive line. I mean, we could do a whole seminar on screens, but it's something that we know that we have to get better at, and we got to work. And they can be a useful tool for us.
Dave and then Zach.
Hey, Doug, in recent years, you've been able to motivate your team when their kind of backs are against the wall. A little earlier this year, obviously, but how much thought do you put into that messaging, and do you kind of rely on certain things in these times?
Yeah, obviously you don't ever want to start motivating your players this early in the season. I mean, they should be. Obviously, we know they motivate themselves. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I understand what you're asking, but I think a lot about how I message and my message to the team and what that message looks like to them and how it's going to be perceived by them. I think for me as the head coach, I think you got to show the good, the bad, the ugly. But at the same time, I think you got to keep your goals right in front of the team. You got to keep the reality of, okay, this is where we are and who we are. But at the same time, we're close and we're not far away. So, all that messaging for me is something that I spend quite a bit of time, thinking about as I approach team meetings with the guys.
Zach and then Kristen.
Hey, Doug, what's the reason Rager went on IR today? And would you guys have been better off starting his clock last week or using that roster spot last week?
Well, listen, with the rules the way they are now, there's so much flexibility each week. So it doesn't, there was no suddenness to make the decision right away, right? Because we have bodies, we had players that we could activate and elevate, and it's just the way the rules are this year. So there was no need to really, press the issue last week. Obviously, we know he's going to miss some time, but there was really no reason to really push anything other than having the flexibility, I guess, with the other guys.
All right, Kristen and then Ruben.
Good morning, Doug. This is going to be the first cross-country trip for you guys in the middle of the pandemic. I'm curious what logistics changed for you guys as you now, take that flight to San Francisco, and also with the Titans having tests come back positive, if you're continuing to reiterate the message of keeping each other safe during this time. Yeah,
it's for me. Obviously, we know we're in this pandemic. We're in this world of testing and kind of our own little bubble here. And so for me, I've got to continue to sort of over-communicate, the protocols that have been in place. I can't let anything slip or slide from the standpoint of, the messaging when it comes that way to the team. And we are taking this long trip. We're basically bottling up our bubble and putting it on an airplane and taking it across the country. And, obviously the Rams have done it and teams have done it already this season, and they've done it successfully. It's just about ownership. It's about each man or woman that travels with us to, do the right thing. There's protocols in place to protect players and coaches. We know going to San Francisco too that, this is a game that masks are going to be required by everybody, right, on the sideline. So, these are things that we're already communicating to our players about. Our guys have done a great job with the protocols that the league and the Players Association, have negotiated, and we just got to do our due diligence as we travel across the country this weekend.
Ruben and then Jeff.
Hey, Doug, what's your plan at right guard? Are you going to stick with Matt Pryor? Is Jamone Brown maybe going to get some work with the ones this week? How are you approaching? And will Nate stay at left guard?
Yeah, the guys actually really settled in this past weekend, did a nice job of, in the game. And so there's no need to really, shift too many guys around. Herbig has done an outstanding job for us, starting out at right and then playing left. And, Pryor filling in last week, so we don't feel the need at this point. We will get Jamon Brown, more reps just to get him caught up with the offense, but other than that, we don't feel the need right now to make any changes there.
Thank you, Jeff, and then Les.
Doug, where's your confidence level
in the last 3 weeks? Hello, it's Jeff.
Sorry, McLean.
Doug, the last if you look at some of the film of Carson, there have been times where he's missed guys when you screened him open down, you schemed him open down the field. I'm wondering if he's not seeing it, or is he reluctant to make those throws? Which one is it?
I think there's a couple of things. One, sometimes the passing game is a lot of timing, right? A lot of timing, decision making, and accuracy. Things we talk about with the quarterbacks, we also talk about with the receivers. When things are open down the field, and all eyes are on that receiver, and we think he's open, you got to put your eyes in the pocket. Did Carson have to move? Did the protection break down? Something of that nature could take him off of that particular play, and he has to either go somewhere or you end up getting sacked, or it's an incomplete pass. So, there's things like that have come up with some of those plays. And then honestly, and Carson would agree that there's times when, he needs to make the play. He just needs to, complete the ball, throw the ball, and we need to make those plays. So it's a little of both. But that's why we practice and get ready for games.
Les, and then Skaversky.
Hi, Doug. For fans who have watched these first 3 games and are thinking, and now this team has to go play at San Francisco, a Super Bowl quality team, who don't see a lot of hope here, what would you say? Why should people believe that this team can win this week?
Thanks for the positivity. I appreciate that. Thanks for being upbeat and energetic today. That's always great. Listen, short season. We've played 3 games. Hasn't been our best. We're excited about this opportunity. It's another week to get better as a team. And look, we love our fans, and I know we're not. Nobody's satisfied. Fans aren't. I'm not. Players aren't. Nobody's satisfied with where we are. Even if we were 3-0, you guys wouldn't be satisfied. So, we're still working every single day to get better. We have some new faces that are going to be playing, particularly at the skill positions now. And look, it's my concern is about the guys in the locker room, getting them prepared to play, taking our bubble across country and protecting our guys and competing.
Jeff, and then Tim.
Hey, Doug, wanted to ask you, where is your confidence level at with Carson that he's going to be able to correct it? We've seen him do it in the past. We've seen him do it almost every season and in difficult situations, even last year. Where's your confidence level at with that? Also, what do you say to people that maybe have lost confidence in Carson Wentz?
My confidence level is extremely high. It's never, and it hasn't changed. And I just know who Carson is. I know the type of worker he is. I know how he approaches the game. Prepares each week, and so listen, he and I are in this thing together, right? And so my confidence level is, hey, I want to put the ball in his hands. It's a great opportunity for us when the ball is in Carson Wentz's hands, because anything and everything can happen. And listen, I can't speak for the outside world. I can see I guess I can sort of visualize, okay, your quarterback doesn't play well, so let's speculate that confidence has got to be low. Well, that's fine. That's a visual thing, and it might be right, and probably is right. But I just know who Carson is. I just know the guys around him. I know this team. They're excited about this week to get back out on the practice field and prepare for San Fran.
Tim, and then Rob.
Hey, Doug, an update on Deshaun and Alshon, if you could. And then I'm also curious, how much time this offseason did you spend looking at Shanahan's offense, and kind of what were your takeaways? What did you want to take from that system?
Well, Alshon will get some work in, a little bit this week again. We're trying to increase his workload to get him back to playing here soon. Deshaun is a little more. He won't practice today, but he's more day to day. With his injury, and looking at Kyle's offense and what they've done, it's unique because they like a lot like us. They give their quarterback a lot of flexibility and a lot of run kills, right? As far as I want to run left, but something might take me to the right. So there's a lot of things that the quarterback gets them in and out of, just like Carson gets us in and out of. The play action pass, obviously the way they use their tight ends and Kittle are things that, I think every team kind of looks at the top offenses in the league and they try to come away with a couple things that they can apply to their own system. But at the end of the day, we've just got to continue to work our system and get better at what we do.
We've got time for a couple more. So Rob and then Mike.
Doug, looking around the league, and I know it's hard in the NFL to get receivers wide open, but looking around the league, I do see more receivers more wide open on certain plays. How much is that scheming these guys open versus their own natural ability, their speed, their route running to get open on their own?
Yeah. It's kind of an obvious answer. I think some of it's scheme. Some of it is basically, if you got a world-class track athlete at wide receiver and it commands a defense to play a little softer. I think the physical trait of that athlete, that receiver, can obviously help, become more wide open. Maybe the size of the receiver. So there's some physical traits there. The scheme obviously can, whether you're double moves or coming off the play action pass or whatever it might be. I think all that can help guys get open. But at the end of the day, more so than not, I think these receivers have to learn to, contested catches, balls in traffic, accuracy by the quarterbacks, the protection. There's a lot of things that also play into those, those schemes.
We'll wrap it up with Mike K.
Doug, we talked to you a lot about 12 personnel and the two tight end looks. With Goddard out, how much confidence do you have in Richard Rodgers, who's been around for a while, and how did he perform when he had to step in last week?
I got a lot of confidence in Rich. This guy's a veteran player. He's smart, and he's played a lot of football. Whether he was in Green Bay or with us and places he's been. I think he's a good fit. He was a great number 3 for us with what we wanted to do and get done. But now being elevated, I think he gives you a little more thump at the line of scrimmage and in blocking situations. He's a good short to intermediate route runner. He's smart. He understands the defense, and he's got really strong hands to catch the football. So, I'm excited for this opportunity for him, to get in there and for him and Zach to work together.
Thanks, Coach.